What day is it?
Are we live already? I'm looking for me, Van. Just popped up. Good morning, YouTube. Good Monday morning. I'm going to get on here. Please get on the YouTube page, the Good Time Tommy YouTube page. Like it, comment. Also, if you would be so kind and share me to your Facebook. I'm boycotting Facebook. Let me get on this. And we will get right into today's show, the morning grind. My best investment ever. That's what today's show topic is. But before we get started, we start every single morning at 8:30, 8:29 actually. We start with 60 seconds of gratitude. Who would like to say what they're thankful for this morning?
I'm thankful she's going to the doctor.
It was Cam. Why are you coming in so late? Hello, Andre. Andre is looking like I'd like to play golf on Thursday. Me and you and the weatherman. Maybe we can get somebody else. You know, it's going to rain today too, weatherman. And tomorrow, I've got to do something with Rob Jansen. I've got to take a video. Got to make myself a video. So, who would like to say what they're thankful for? Anybody? We got a very dead bunch this morning.
Hey, I'm thankful. I'm hearing a bunch of stuff about the open house that he had like 6 people at his.
He did.
I saw Pruitt's open house had a lot of people.
He had a lot of people there. Noah, you raised your hand. What are you thankful for?
Yeah, be quiet, Josh.
You
just gotta speak up.
No,
Tell us.
I'm thankful for gym progression. Being in the gym, I'm seeing a lot of things progress. Like
You gonna start walking around with your shirt off?
yeah, maybe.
Did Cam show up this morning at the gym? Man, Cameron had. You know what I feel like? Cam had a setback this weekend. I'm afraid. I'm afraid Cam may have found some kryptonite. What do you think? Did you, Cam?
I don't agree.
What did? Well, we don't know. We don't know, but some people, good things happen. The next thing you know, some shit gets a hold of them, and they get set back. Cam walks in at 8:30. Used to be an 8:15 guy. We could always count on Cam at 8:15. We got 2 Cams in here today.
Used to be a 7:30 guy.
What's happened, Cam?
Nothing.
I feel like something. What did you do yesterday? We'll get on with the show, but I got to discover what happened to Cam. What went wrong yesterday? Did you get drunk yesterday?
No.
Did you stay up late?
I did stay up late.
You did not go to the gym this morning.
No.
Why not?
Because I just didn't get
Did
up.
you have any extra company with you last night?
I did not.
Girls.
Something ain't adding up. Something ain't adding up with Cam. I'm going to move on because I don't want to catch what he has. Bad energy. Bad luck. Who in here feels like they're lucky? Do you feel lucky? Are you lucky?
Yeah.
Are you lucky?
Yeah.
Are you lucky? Are you lucky? Is Coda lucky?
She's lucky as hell.
To be so ugly, she's got a lot of luck. Good. We got a lot of lucky people in here. All right, I'm going to tell the story about the best investment I've ever made. It's going to be a little story that you can all follow along. Before I get started, I'd like to ask, could anybody guess my best investment I've ever made?
Maybe. Invest in himself. And yourself.
Well, give me a specific example.
That lot.
That lot me and Joey made, that has made us a lot of money. Good guess. You don't even know me. You don't know me. What about you?
Speaking with Cardone.
Speaking with Cardone.
When you bought that marketing package.
When I bought that marketing package, which one are you talking about, Ed?
The one where you spent like 15 minutes with them,
What would you say?
Your affiliate broker class,
My affiliate broker class.
pretty cheap investment for a whole lot of upside.
That is I did not think about that. That is a good one. You, sir.
Your investment in the team.
Investment in the team, you, Cameron.
Airbnb. Nashville.
All right. What would you say? What man would say him?
I'd say that too. One of them was the storm, was a hell of an investment for you, and another one is marriage.
Oh shit! She could get half though.
That's That's all right, but you know,
Then build it up. She's already thinking about ways to get half, she said. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you, this actually happens to do with my wife. We weren't married at the time, but Cardone was running this special back in the day where I think this was 2016. I bought for $5,000. I bought 15 minutes with Cardone, where I would just go into his office. I toured his place, and I brought my wife, my girlfriend at the time. I don't think we weren't engaged yet, were we? No. So I took her down there, and I was so excited. My appointment with Cardone was maybe at I can't remember, either 9 or 11. But I showed up, me and her showed up before the building even opened up. Because I wanted to get in there and I wanted to chum around and I wanted to see what it was like. And they're like, hey, man, we have a meeting every day at 9:07. That's what it was. 9 o'clock. Our appointment was at 11. Every day we got a 9:07 meeting, man. You got to come back. So we went down to this Starbucks. It was hot. It was hot as hell down there. I was in a suit drinking coffee, sweating like hell. But
your lines.
I was writing down my stuff, and I really thought, man, I'm going to go in here and win Cardone over, and we're going to become buddies. Like, shit, he's going to like me so much. Maybe we'll go back to his place, hang out for dinner. Me and my girl and him and his family. So we went back over there. We just walked. That's how close Starbucks was. We walked back over there. And this was 2017, April 2017. And during this time, I had this, I really thought I had a vision of what I wanted my life to look like. I didn't know what to ask him. So we go in there, and he kind of knew who I was back then because Michael Burt and him were buddies. And Burt told him, I'm coming down there, and we had talked back and forth through social media. So I get it. So whenever we come back, I see him pulling up in this white Ghost. I mean, it was a badass car. He had loud rap music pulling up in there, and I was going to run around and try to introduce myself before he went into the building, but I didn't. But we go in, and I'm seeing how everything there is working. I mean, it's just like, God, this is amazing. That was my first thought, was this is amazing what's going on here. There was a internet department, there was an operational department, there's a real estate department, there's a sales department, there's an e-commerce department. It was just an awesome thing to see. So I go in there, and he couldn't see me, but he looked out there and he just said, is that who I think it is? Making me feel good, like he knew me. So I walk in, and the first thing he's trying to do is to get Brittany to come back there with me. That was one of the biggest mistakes I made. And I'm like, no, it's just me and you. Because remember, I was going to win him over. We were going to be buddies. So I have her sitting out there, and we go back there, and he immediately, it was no chum-chum, no chum-chumming. You know, it was straight to the point. What do you want? What do you want to do? And I was kind of caught off guard. And then I'm warming up, and I'm telling him, and I'm trying to make sense of, I was living with my mom, and by then the company had grown to maybe $400,000 in revenue. And I was wanting him to say, man, that's awesome how far you've come. And he's like, and I was going on, and he was like, but. He said, none of that matters. You need to get out of there and just look for nothing that you've done in your past. It does not matter. None of that matters. You need to be thinking, he wrote down, how do you go from $400,000 to $4 million? That's the only thing you need to be thinking. And I remember thinking, damn, this ain't really what I thought. Because I had this thing in my life where I was thinking, one of these days, by the time I'm dead, I want to be worth $5 million. That's what I was thinking when I went in there. What was that? How many years ago was that? 5 years ago, I was hoping one day I'd be worth $5 million. That's what I was thinking. When I walked out of there, I was a little disappointed. I was a little upset. But today, I think $100 million. I never would have thought like that if I didn't go in there and get called out. The biggest mistake I made was not bringing her back there the first time, Brittany. The second time, I got to go back there twice. We ended up staying there about 4 hours. We were there at that place for 4 hours. It was supposed to be 15 minutes, turned into 4 hours. I brought her back, and me and her now are asking questions. She can probably remember a lot more of the interview than I can. She can probably remember what he was saying. But here's my biggest takeaway from that is you got to think bigger. You got to think a lot bigger. You need to think 10 times bigger than your current situation. Walking in there, I was proud of where we were. I was proud. And I think Weatherman was here, Katrina was here. There may have been 4 or 5 of us here at that time. You were, so imagine what it would look like. How many people were here? I don't know. Katrina was still here. Lisa, Kathleen, me, and you.
I don't know if Charlie was here or not.
Charlie, that's what it used to look like. And that was the year, I guess we did around 100 deals. Now we're twice as big. Going to get a lot bigger than that. But I wouldn't have been thinking like that if I would have never gone in there and had this meeting with a guy that really changed my life starting in 2012, 13. I'd followed him for 4 years. I finally got to meet him. But I was proud of what I had overcome. I was proud that I was broke 35 living with my mom, and by now we were, at a different spot. Walked out of there pissed off that that's all I'd done. I remember that night I used to do this show. It was a Thursday. I used to do this show called Straight from the Gut, and I was replaying that day and how disappointed I was after talking to him. And that was good for me because it challenged me to grow. It challenged me to want this. I want a lot more than this. One day I see a lot bigger team, a lot more things going on, but it would not have happened if I didn't go down there, have this like just a heart-to-heart discussion with him, and him calling me out on thinking too small. And then like a couple years ago, I sent him a video about, I think it was the first time we had done over $100,000 in revenue in a month, and I sent him a message. And like he responded in a video back to me. That was really cool. So your best investments are sometimes not what you expect, not what you think, not what you predict. Sometimes you made the decision to go into somewhere. And when I went there that day, I spent $5,000 to get there. But when I was there, one of their guys sold me a $26,000 branding package. And back then, that was it is a lot of money, but back then it was like everything. Like, shit, you mean, so what that helped me do that particular moment is prove to me that I'm willing to invest. You can learn information, but information is only going to get you so far. You got to take information, you got to multiply it with courage. For me, investing $26,000, that took a lot of courage. And at the end of the day, I don't know if it was worth the $26,000, but the reason why it was worth the $26,000 is now we spend $26,000 a month on marketing. Think about that. I would have never been able to do $26,000 a month if I wouldn't have started with the $26,000 that Robert Sislow sold me on. So that was my best investment ever. Any questions before I shut it down? You ain't got one damn question?
No, I really like that story though.
Did you? Well, thank you. How about you,
How
Josh?
much money do you feel like is a good starting point for somebody to spend on, not like a marketing brand, but investing in themselves?
With whatever you got. Whatever.
Would you clear yourself out? Would you clear yourself? Would you tell somebody, hey,
The reason why you don't do that is how much courage it takes, because bills are going to keep coming in. But no, I wouldn't put all that in there. But you are to, see, what you got to do is you got to do something that creates a behavioral change. Like if I told you something bad was going to happen to one of your family members unless you produced a deal by Friday, would your behavior be the same with me with that, or if I never said anything to you about hurting somebody in your family? What do you mean a little bit?
Oh, it changed.
It would definitely whenever our survival is threatened, it amps up our energy, our conviction, what we're willing to do. So whenever you get rid of a lot of your money, it definitely changes your behavior. Like the last 3 months have been the worst 3 months in business for me. I think it's probably going to end up about, over that time, $75,000 loss. So a lot of people have been saying, well, dude, you need to cut Zillow. you need to cut this. But see, I'm looking if we can just get through this. If we can get through and get into February, where February looks a lot better, and get into March and April, and then stuff starts rolling in for me. If I can fade this storm, if I can just make it through this storm, we're going to be a lot stronger. We're going to be a lot bigger, and we're going to make a whole lot more money. But I've got to have the courage to do that. You know, it's a very scary thing. But if I'm you, I would definitely be investing in myself. Definitely. Because to get rich, you can't do it without risk. And your risk is like a muscle. It doesn't go from 0 to like 100. You got to build it up. Shut us down, Vingraftin.